Well, good afternoon. While I chew on a little sweet from the hostel. Still a bit rainy, not too bad. Not as bad as yesterday, but it's still supposed to be down for the day, so I was able to leave my luggage in the hostel. Can pick it up at 3 and check into the next place. So I'm gonna head down to a place that I went this time last year. Now, it's a cool little kind of arcade shop. They've got all old TVs with little retro consoles. You could sit down, have a beer, play Super Mario on an old Super Nintendo. It's a cool place. I don't know how small this video will be today, or how short it'll be, because, well, it's now the afternoon and the weather this morning was pretty bad, so I just sat in the hostel talking to a couple of guys. Actually, one of them is going to the same hostel as me next, so I'll probably see him tomorrow when I go to a different place, when I leave Hiroshima, unfortunately, but you know, that's just the way it goes. Check out this place, look. Canned sardines if you want them while you're playing the games here. Super Mario, snooker, foosball. Isn't this so cool? Real old-fashioned kind of bottles here. Oh my god, isn't it amazing? This is actually heaven, not gonna lie. What a shop. We also have the Nintendo down there that you see people are playing. Mario Kart, a couple of different little stations. Isn't that so cool? I'm gonna have a beer. What beer have they got? I can't even see in it. Anyway, I think I see Sapporo. Let's get a beer. Check out though, you've also got white wine, red wine, sparkling wine, Smirnoff, and all kinds of cocktails, whiskey, tequila. Let's play some video games. Oh, this place is just so cool. I love it. The atmosphere, it feels like something from like, well, the 50s, of course, with these kind of old machines, combined with like just say late 80s, early 90s. So let's play a little bit of Super Mario Bros. 3. Yes, Super Mario Bros. 3. Here we go. Oh, yes. Damn, I'm a professional. What better way to play Mario than with a cold beer? Oh, so good. Oh man, this place is just... This is my favorite little tiny shop in Hiroshima. This is just... Oh man, this shop is just cafe slash bar slash game room. It's just so nostalgic. Like all these old beer machines. Got, like on the right here, you've got all old like popcorn machines, candy, 50 yen crane machines. Like, it's like honestly, it's a trip to the past. It's just so cool. And I remember coming here last year. I remember just coming and looking up. See, it's in the shopping mall, but it's on the second floor. And I just looked up at the windows going by and I saw like a Super Nintendo. I was like, "Whoa, what's this?" So I went up. Café here. Oh man, it's just, if you're in Hiroshima and you're into video games, check it out. It's just a cool place. And then at the other side, you see you've got this Nintendo Entertainment System, the Famicom, as it's called in Japan. Got the Super Nintendo here. All these games, consoles, all in these glass cabinets. And you can sit up here and watch everybody going by on their day-to-day lives while you're sitting up here drinking beer, playing old video games. Anyway, I'm finished in here. Let's head out. So we're just making our way up to Hiroshima Castle now. I'm not going to go in because I've done it before, but we'll look at it from the outside and I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's a lovely little park that it's in. And there's so many people walking by me in football jerseys because Hiroshima are playing today. Everyone's going around with these purple, really vibrant purple jerseys. It's pretty cool. But it also means up until you get to the castle, the streets are pretty crowded. It's part of the fun, right? So I guess that is a football stadium. When I arrived I said I think it's a baseball stadium, but I think I'm wrong. Unless it's the baseball team that's playing. It looks like a football jersey though, so that's why I just assumed football. So the castle that I'm coming up to now, Hiroshima Castle, was built by Mori Takemono back in the 1590s. And of course the castle that we're going to look at is not the original, because it was destroyed during the atomic bomb blast, because it's only about a kilometre away from the hypocenter. So this got completely wiped out and they rebuilt it back in the 1950s. So you go up and take a look. It's still very impressive. You can see the lovely dark wood panels. Same curved roof technique that's used on all the castles around Japan. And of course, this wasn't just a defensive place. This was also where the samurai lived and worked. So it's much more than just a defensive stronghold. And of course, here you've still got some parts that were left of the old keeps and turrets that were built here back in the 1500s. But yeah, can you believe, like, this place just, yeah, disappeared essentially back in the 40s. Just everything gone. It's mad. But they've done a very good job with the castle now. It looks authentic. I know they can follow the same like blueprint basically to rebuild it, but you know, it's still impressive when you come up to it, even though you know it's not the real deal of sorts. So actually, you see the top of the tower there, at the top of the castle. Well, when you go up to the top of it, they've got a lovely 360 view of Hiroshima. So you're kind of, when you're at the top, you're able to experience the modernity and the history of it all at the same time, because you're in, oh, you can hear the people cheering for the football or baseball. I think it's football. Yeah, so you're able to get kind of a feel for past and present all at once with that 360 view while you're in this old reconstructed tower. It's pretty cool when you're up there. So if you're in Hiroshima, go up it. It's well worth it. So I've just come up to Gokoku Shrine. Now Gokoku Shrine, of course, like a lot of other things here in Hiroshima, was rebuilt because it was destroyed during the atomic bomb blast. And it was originally built in the 1800s as a place to remember all those who died as soldiers here in the Hiroshima prefecture. But since then, since they rebuilt it, it's been kind of, it's more of a broad place of just remembrance in general. So people usually come up here and they'll throw a 5 yen into this box here, the offering, the worship box. And they offer that because the word for 5 yen, go-en, is similar to the Japanese word for fate. So it's kind of the lucky number that people will use when they're putting an offering in. But it was rebuilt in the 50s. Like most other things here in Hiroshima, obviously. There's no way somewhere like this could survive. And actually, it wasn't originally here. It was originally further over, well, a bit closer to that game shop that I was in before it became a big shopping area. So it wasn't far from there, but see, you always get these wooden plaques that people write their wishes on, prayers, just general hope. All different languages: English, French, German, Spanish, Japanese, Korean. And when you get a fortune here and it turns out to be bad, people tie them around these strings in the hope that they'll be purified, basically. It's a lovely little shrine area. Of course, it draws a lot of people here because it is the most important shrine here in Hiroshima. You know, it's kind of crazy when you come here, and obviously it's a sad place of remembrance for victims of war. However, it's very much alive, you know. I just heard a tour guide telling a couple of people that, like, you know, school kids come here to pray and ask for good results in their exams. Families just come here to worship together. So it's not just all a place of doom and gloom, basically. And it looks like this was a former air raid shelter of sorts. You can see the little entryway in. Don't really know if you can walk up. I mean, you can walk up, but you know, don't really think you can go in. But we're gonna go in anyway. Please don't be any zombies or monsters or something. Let's see. So yeah, this was, I get a bit claustrophobic in here. So something very interesting, that was like an air raid shelter essentially. And what I read on it, just at the side of it there, it tells you that the soldiers that were in there were assisted by the girls' school students that were nearby. And of course the atomic bomb destroyed all of the phone lines all around Hiroshima, so there was no way of communicating. But with the help of the girls' students, the soldiers were able to use a barely working military phone to send out the call that Hiroshima had been bombed. And it was essentially the first message, the first relay of any information about what happened here. That's pretty cool. Like, from just that little place at the side of the shrine, like, you know, it's a, when you look at it, it's a pretty insignificant place just tucked away in the corner, but it's a very important place too. That's what I mean. Just walk around, you'll find this super interesting stuff. It's fascinating, it blows my mind. That's not an exaggeration, it really does. It's like, you know, I like history, but like, there's just something so important there. Like, you know, the first news that anything happened in Hiroshima came from the help of the schoolgirls. It's just crazy. Just take in the contrast between the castle over there and the stadium over here. Everyone cheering, everyone chanting, they're all singing, I can hear it from here. It's such a big difference from one side of this bridge to the other. See what I mean about these nice purple jerseys everywhere? It's nice that the stadium is even called the Peace Wing. People come along, get your beer, get your coffee. Pretty good atmosphere. I don't know what time the kickoff is. It's probably pretty soon. 4, maybe half an hour away. And I'm going in the opposite direction of everybody here. If I'd have known there was a football match on, I would have tried to get a ticket just for fun. I'll get to a football match while I'm in Japan, I'm sure of it. Or if I'm in some other country, I'll check out the local match. Why not? So I'm just back here at the top of the Peace Park because I want to go somewhere very important just for a couple of minutes. It's a very, very powerful place here. It's just on the other side of the park. So this building in front of me is Honkawa Elementary School. Just looks like a normal school from here, right? You know, typical school that you'd see when you're walking around Japan. So when the school was built in 1928, it was the first school in Hiroshima built using enforced concrete walls. Thick enforced concrete walls. And that's actually the only reason that any of it is still standing now. Because on the 6th of August 1945, 400 meters away, just over the atomic dome, the nuclear explosion went off. And it killed 400 students and their teachers here, just in a flash. It's a very sad place to be. And one of the survivors gave an account of what happened. So Kyoki Imori was the little girl, and she was coming in the back entrance to the school with her friend when all of a sudden the world just went black. And she was describing like running down towards the river through flames, through smoke. And when she got down to the river, it was just flowing with bodies, people dying. And she actually lost basically everybody that she knew that day. All of her friends in school, her family, everybody that she knew, gone instantly. And she actually came back to this spot about 5 decades later, 6 decades later, came back and she made an announcement saying, "I don't hate any country, I just hate war." And this is the school now. Funny, 6 months after the explosion happened and the school was destroyed, lessons actually started back up in the basement of what was left. Only 6 months after, isn't that just crazy, honestly? Whole place destroyed, very little of the walls remained, just the basement, and they resumed lessons in that. And now today, like, the students are learning all about all the modern stuff that children learn, but they're learning it in a place that has so much history. They have a small part of the building here that you'll see. You see the scorch marks on the side of it, the black. Those walls here, this small little area, is all that remains of the school and all those students that died. I gotta give it to Inoki Imori. You know, that takes some courage to come back here when you've lost everybody, absolutely everybody that you know, gone. You know, and not want vengeance or not spew hatred. I don't know, but it's very powerful. It's very sad when you're reading up about it. Like, you know, it's a museum now, and I was in it the first time I was here. You can't film. I think you can't film, but I didn't want to film because there's still, you know, there's stuff that the children were doing on that day. There's uniforms there, drawings, homework, classwork. You know, it's you know, and all those bits that survived belonging to students that were killed. 400 of them just in that school alone. So, yeah. Anyway, look, I'm gonna make my way back to my hostel and get my bags and check into my new hostel for the night. Not too far away. Now I'm just on my way to my new hotel, technically. It's not a hostel, it's actually a capsule hotel. It's the best option I could get, so, you know, capsule hotels are perfectly fine. They have a great service that they provide. You know, it's clean, it's comfortable, it's quiet. The only thing it's lacking though is a bit of communication, a bit of a social area, because it's usually just businessmen that go to these places. But, you know, with a hostel, there's a common area, people are chatting, people are asking, well, where are you from, anywhere you recommend to go, you know, stuff like that. Just regular kind of communication, but you miss out on that in a capsule hotel. You're kind of isolated off, you know, and I know the Japanese kind of don't mind that, but it's just a bit strange when you go from a hostel that everyone's talking to a capsule where it's kind of just closed off. Pretty big. Like, double bed. Nice. Well, that's a pretty big capsule, wasn't it? It's a pretty nice hotel. There's one loud guest though, I could hear her. I don't know where she's from, but she was speaking Spanish, but really loud on the phone. Like shouting. I know Spanish people are pretty loud when they talk, but this was a bit over the top. Anyway, look, I'm sure it won't be the same later. She's probably still early enough. She's allowed to make phone calls, but right now I'm just gonna go for a little walk around Hiroshima. My last night here in one of my favorite cities, so I'm not gonna record anything, just gonna walk and just take it all in, essentially. So until tomorrow, where I head off to a new place. Not a big place, but a place that I can, it's just a relaxing place for a few days, you know, get a coffee, read a book, which I will get a book tomorrow before I leave. In the second-hand shop they have English ones, so, you know, just a pretty laid back kind of town. So yeah, till then, thanks for watching and take it easy. Bye bye.